If you're an aspiring author, I really hope that you get to hold your books in your hands one day, because it's a feeling that just never really gets old. I'm going on my very first ever book tour. It's called the Sunkissed Book Tour, and it's happening in Corpus Christi, which is like a super beachy city. Could you imagine if I got somebody else's book? Like, oops. Yay! There's copies of my book. This is the book that I wrote about an adoptee searching for her biological mom, and then in real life, I found my biological mom. So write your book, because you never know what spell you're going to cast into the universe, and you never know what the universe is going to respond with. But I imagine you're watching this because you are an author, and one day you're going to go on your own book tour. So think of this as a little prep, because I have no clue what I'm doing, and we're gonna figure it out together. And I'm in company with two other authors, Robin Alvarez.
I'm the author of When Oceans Rise, which is a YA Filipino Little Mermaid retelling about a girl in a toxic relationship who's willing to give her voice up to a sea witch in order to escape.
And Gabriella Buba.
I'm Gabriella Buba, the author of Saints of Storm and Sorrow. The thing that I do is Filipino epic fantasy retellings from a queer and mixed race perspective.
I am about to get picked up by them. We're gonna carpool out to Rockport to make the very first stop of our book tour.
Authors cold call all the time. Really? Hi, my name is so-and-so and I have a book coming out. Would you carry it for me? Or I even get random copies of books in the mail. Hi, here's my book. Please read it and let me know if you'll carry it.
How do you pick the books?
So I get emails from publishers. I listen to my customers because they'll come in and ask me for a book that's coming out. I had one yesterday and I don't even remember the name of the book, but I put it in my cart because I saw that 4,000 people had ordered it across the nation, pre-ordered it, so I was like, oh, I need this book. And then social media. A lot of times the different publishing companies will put out, hey, heads up, this book is coming out, and I have to jump on it. I have to get those books.
How the hell did you get into Owl Crate?
A few years ago, I was actually on TikTok and I had seen that they had made this new bookish app. And so I got on TikTok and I was like, hey, has anyone seen The Nest? And
so that's the new app.
Yeah, and
book
it's
talk
like
specifically.
it's kind of like being in a really giant book club, and they have all these different like sections and niches, so you can find your space. So it kind of just started as a, hey, like that video, we like your vibe, and I was like, cool, can you do a cover reveal for When Oceans Rise?
Reached out to you because of what they saw.
Yeah,
on
they just
the
saw
Nest.
the video.
Okay, that's amazing.
Suddenly going, hey,
Yeah.
do you want to be an editor? So yeah, this is spicy horror fantasy.
What is selling really well, especially in like this area?
So I would say the most popular genres right now are romance and fantasy.
Okay.
And even better if romance and fantasy are together.
Like Saints of Storm and Sorrow?
There you go.
Parents come up to me and they're like, oh, my daughter will love this. And I have to go, and I'm gauging based on your age, how old is your daughter? And sometimes they're like 25, and I'm like, good, fine. Or sometimes they're like 16,
Perfect.
I'm like, let's have a discussion.
Yeah, I had the audio book on in the car, and then I was like, oh wait, I have kids in this car.
Oh,
so like,
wow.
so I did bring the volume down.
But you did get to
Yeah.
enjoy Dante Bosco.
So Prince Zuko is in
Prince
your book.
Zuko
The
is
Prince
my
Zuko.
love interest in my book about elemental magic, and I did it for the Zutara girlies, and I won. No one can top this.
Nobody can.
I got to pitch it to his agent myself,
Yeah.
and Spotify made it happen. I got to do an event in LA with him. It was Dante Bosco, Denise Cavanoa, my other audiobook narrator, and me at Kubo Long Beach, which is a Filipino-owned bookstore. And it was magical. And Dante read my book live to me and 60 other people, but to me.
We are finally packing up, and here is what I have learned. Next time, I definitely want to put my book cover on little chocolates. I also really love these. Like, my eyes go straight to this. This is so cool. And she said that she printed this from her library. And then Robin taught me a little something, and it's to introduce yourself and say your full name. Like Stephen King doesn't say, hey, I'm Steve. He says, I'm Stephen King. It is day 2 of our book tour, and we are hosting a panel at Comic-Con in Corpus Christi. This is also my first ever Comic-Con, and of course I had to dress up. I wanted to go as something fun, so I dressed up as a Rick and Morty Loki mashup. It's called Variant Rick. But in retrospect, I probably should have just dressed up as something book related. At least that's what Robin and Gabby did, and they also answered some of my questions about paneling.
So if you're going to be a moderator for an event, I think the biggest thing you need to do is really get to know who is on your panel. Being able to tailor questions to your panelists and not just have a list you're reading off makes all the difference.
When I go to a panel, I get to connect with the audience in a way that I normally don't get to do. Yes, I'm on social media and I do a lot of videos, but this is this moment where I get to expand on certain ideas in the book, certain themes in the books that take some deeper thought and meaning. And it's this wonderful moment after the panel to have people come up to you to ask you specific questions that I really enjoy. I love to meet readers, and it's so special to get to meet them in person and see how they connected with you when you were talking in a panel.
I think we are in the year of the nerd, and like nerd is cool. So getting people into reading in a really accessible way is finding a nerd avenue to pitch your book.
After our panel, we had to race to the other side of town so that we wouldn't miss the next stop of our book tour.
I was like, oh my god, that's Stefany.
Yeah,
She's the one with the purple hair. I literally was like, that's her.
I know, that's what I said when I first saw that movie. I was like, I'm Rumi, I've got the purple hair. For the third stop of our book tour, it was a collaboration between a location and a vendor. The location was at a brewery called Lazy Beach in Southside, and the vendor who handled all of the transactions is a local indie bookstore / bakery called The Cookie Plot. And here's what I learned from our third event. If I ever do back-to-back events like this, I absolutely need to pack water and food. But I feel like the reason why this event was such a success is because Robin came in clutch. So pro tip, if you're going to a book event outside of your hometown, utilize Facebook and connect with book clubs. It's a great way to drum up excitement for your event, and you never know if someone's gonna let you say hi to their dog. It was so much fun, but I am literally so exhausted. I don't know if I can ever do another event like that back to back. Maybe I could do it again if it just wasn't so dang hot and humid. By the way, my crate broke, so that's nice. That's what I was using to carry all of my books. So pro tip, get a better crate. Tomorrow is our last event, and we are going to Barnes & Noble in Corpus Christi, and I am so excited for you guys to meet Howie. I will be interviewing him for the last installment of the Sunkissed book tour. Hi, so we're here with Howie. What are some things that you do that help authors while they are on book tours?
Well, my unofficial title is event coordinator here for the store in Corpus Christi. I don't know if any of the other Barnes & Nobles have a position like mine because it doesn't really exist. It was just sort of given to me because everybody was nice to me and I talked to people.
This is why,
true.
Yeah,
that's why Howie's the best.
Honestly, yeah. So you hear that, Barnes & Noble, you need to have official event coordinators across all of your branches.
So,
because it makes a big difference. What would you want your author's biggest takeaway from events to be?
that not all of them are going to be successful as any other one. It all depends on the market. It depends on the day. It depends on the time of day. It depends on the weather. I try to do all that I can to make it successful.
You really do.
If they come away with that understanding, it's like if you're out there, if you sell one book, you sold a book. You were a success.
Howie is literally so good at making everybody feel comfortable and welcome that customers kept on coming up to him.
We got 3 local authors here.
Hello.
He's one of our regular customers.
So I had to continue the interview at a different location.
Unless we have specific, instructions from the higher ups to say make this a table. Our tables are really sort of created by ourselves to sort of cater to our market. and I hate using this word, but we vibe our tables. People are buying spicy romance. We set up a spicy romance table. Gloria is going to be setting up a YA local author table. Hopefully we will have a local author table over in the YA section for certain people.
Me and Robin! We just wrapped up our Sunkissed book tour. What was your biggest takeaway from the event?
My biggest takeaway is that having authors that you like really vibe with to do an event with makes everything so much more magical, even for the audience. We've been together for 4 days, and like getting to know each other and knowing like how to make each other shine in conversation. Wow, like that was one of the best panels I've gotten to moderate.
I actually made sure to do outreach with book clubs. We actually got to pull in people who are passionate about reading and want to come out to things, and I would do that again 1000%.
So I just finished up the Sunkissed book tour, and I feel like I learned so much about my very first ever book tour. First of all, I just want to shout out Gabby, because I feel like what I learned from Gabby is to have multiple pitches for your book, because you might need to pivot to explain your book in a different way. And then something that I feel like I learned from Robin is that it takes time to grow your audience, but if you can network correctly and if you're patient with it, you can find your people. Thank y'all so much for watching. I learned a lot, and I hope you did too. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below, and since you made it this far, why not give me a like and follow, because I will be posting about all things author, all things adoptee reunification, and all things Taiwan. So, mwah, thank you.